This video was paid for by my supporters on Patreon. Screw the intro, this is 50 Questions for Feminists number 4. Oh wait, it's December and I haven't made a Christmas special. Okay, now this is a Christmas special. Let's start the video. Why is it that whenever one of you posts a comment on one of my videos, you always either accuse me of hating women or not understanding what feminism is instead of putting forth an actual argument or trying to prove me wrong? Why are you so hung up on Donald Trump groping women, while completely ignoring the fact that when Hillary Clinton was a lawyer, she once got a child rapist off scot-free even though she knew he was guilty and was even recorded laughing about it? Have you ever stopped to think that maybe people believe fake articles about feminists saying and doing crazy things because that's what people have come to expect from you and it's simply Poe's law in action? What is not shaving your armpits supposed to prove? Do you think anybody honestly cares? If masculinity is so fragile, why are you always the ones whining about trivial things like emojis not representing you or air conditioning being sexist? If it's disparaging to women to tell a man that he throws like a girl, is it disparaging to men to tell a woman that she looks like a man? According to the FBI, there were more than 1.7 million burglaries reported in the United States in 2014, or about 20 times the number of rapes reported that year. Does that mean we live in a burglary culture? The fact that female teachers having sex with their underage students who are unable to legally give informed consent isn't seen as a big deal as part of rape culture, right? So why aren't you demanding that all female teachers be required to attend consent seminars? Having some guy pester you for your phone number can be annoying, but is it really fair to equate it to rape? Why do you complain about the fact that the majority of top-level executive positions in the corporate world are taken by men, while completely ignoring the fact that most bottom-level positions are also taken by men? Why do you conflate sexy with sexist? Why is it so wrong to glorify the ideal healthy female form? Hashtag kill all men is a joke, right? Why is it okay for you to joke about killing men, but not for anybody else to joke about rape? If rape jokes normalize rape and harm women, does joking about killing men not normalize male homicide? Men are already nearly 4 times more likely to be victims of homicide than women, and according to your own logic, joking about that will only normalize it and make it even more common. So if it's true that you don't hate men, why are you joking about killing men when you yourself believe that jokes normalize violence? How do you expect women to ever be taken seriously when you yourself make women out to be these delicate flowers who need to be tiptoed around, like they're so fragile that they can't handle jokes, rude comments, or being called bossy? If media depictions of rape and violence against women normalize rape and violence against women, couldn't you say the same thing about rap music and violence against the police? If so, why don't you bring that up with your friends in the Black Lives Matter movement? Why is it such a bad thing to address a group of people as guys? If gender is a social construct, why does it matter? If being a woman is so hard and gender is a social construct, why don't you just become men? If the fact that black people are so overrepresented in the prison population is proof that the judicial system is biased against black people, is the fact that the vast majority of prisoners are also men proof that the judicial system is biased against men? If the fact that women are underrepresented in the corporate world is proof that the corporate world is systemically biased against women, is the fact that men are underrepresented in colleges proof that colleges are systemically biased against men? Being fat and claiming to be healthy because you haven't had a heart attack yet is like a smoker claiming smoking is healthy because he hasn't gotten lung cancer yet. Being overweight or obese has been linked to numerous health issues. This means being fat or allowing yourself to get fat are self-destructive behaviors. Why should society perceive self-destructive behaviors as beautiful? If all women should be feminists because feminists gave women the right to vote, then should all black people be Republicans because Republicans freed the slaves? How is marching down the street topless going to end slut-shaming, street harassment, and rape culture? Do you expect to ever actually change anything? Or do you just say things and put on these histrionic public performances because it makes you feel like you're doing good without actually accomplishing anything other than making yourselves look like crazy, screaming, blood-soaked morons? How is feminism going to end domestic violence when it has to deny inconvenient realities about the nature of domestic violence, such as the fact that men make up 40% of the victims, half of all domestic violence is reciprocated, and over 70% of non-reciprocated violence is perpetrated by women? If intimate partner violence is a form of patriarchal control men use to oppress women, why is it that the majority of non-reciprocated domestic violence is perpetrated by women? If intimate partner violence is a form of patriarchal control men use to oppress women, why do lesbians statistically experience more domestic violence than heterosexual women? If rape is a form of patriarchal control men use to oppress women, Why is it that an American man is more likely to be raped in prison than an American woman is to be raped anywhere outside of prison? Why are you only pro-choice up to the point where women make choices you don't agree with? Did you know that Norway shooter Anders Behring Breivik's mother abused him numerous times as a child, including sexually, and the Norwegian court system denied his father custody several times while this was happening? Why is it that whenever you promote multiculturalism, that always seems to exclude Western culture? Where do you get off saying men don't get objectified? Throughout all of history, men have been sent off to die in wars by the thousands or even by the millions, often against their will. Even in times of peace, men are shamed as cowards if they are unwilling to put their bodies and their lives on the line for the sake of some greater good. And whenever there's a great tragedy, we talk about the killing of women and children as if it's somehow inherently worse than when men are killed. Is being seen as completely disposable not the ultimate form of objectification? For the few of you who claim that feminism helps men too, what exactly has feminism done to help men, if anything? And is it enough to offset the harm that feminism has done, such as the Duluth model, the National Organization of Women's petitioning against shared custody, and the undermining of the presumption of innocence when it comes to rape accusations? Why is it that your idea of helping men boils down to making men not be men anymore? Why do feminist teachers try to make boys behave like girls and treat them like the defective if they don't comply? Have you ever stopped to think that maybe boys and girls act differently because they are different? If gender is a social construct, why do male and female babies begin exhibiting different behavioral traits even before they have any concept of gender or socially imposed gender expectations? And why is this also true for non-human primates? How can a woman be a man just because she says she identifies as a man, but terrorists who identify as Muslims somehow aren't really Muslims? Why do you feel that all cultures are equally worthy of respect? Do you actually believe that Western culture is no better than cultures which practice forced child marriage, female genital mutilation, and killing homosexuals? Even with all its faults, surely you can see that Western culture is the best culture women, LGBT people, and racial and religious minorities have to choose from, right? I mean, can you name even a single country that isn't in either North America, Europe, or Oceania where you can honestly say that such people are better off? Where do you get off saying feminism is about equality when there are all different kinds of feminism, each with conflicting ideas? You have your liberal feminists, radical feminists, sex-positive feminists, sex-negative feminists, choice feminists, Marxist feminists, gender feminists, TERFs, the especially wacky feminists who believe women literally have magic powers, self-proclaimed feminists like Christina Hoff Sommers who all the other feminists despise, feminists who say feminism helps men too, feminists who say feminism isn't concerned with men's issues, feminists who say anybody who wants equality is a feminist, feminists who say men can't be feminists, and so on. There are even feminists out there who say rape isn't rape if it happens to white women. It seems that the only thing any of you agree on is that we live under a patriarchy where women are oppressed by men, but none of you can agree with each other on what feminism really is or what the goals of feminism should be. Can you really say that feminism is about equality when there are feminists out there who say it's about female supremacy, and can you argue against them without evoking the no true Scotsman fallacy? If the word history is sexist because it has the word his in it, and the spelling of the word women needs to be changed to W-O-M-Y-N so it doesn't have the word men in it, is the word person sexist because it has son in it? What about menstruation? Do you understand that having men tell you their opinions about your appearance or stating their preferences isn't the same as dictating to you what to do with your body? Why do you dismiss reports from Fox News, The Drudge Report, and Breitbart because of their right-wing bias when the news sources you listen to like MSNBC, CNN, and BuzzFeed don't even try to hide their left-wing bias? Why is it only okay for the media to be biased when they're saying what you want to hear? If women are so much better than men at raising children, why is that even though more than half of black children are being raised by single mothers, they still have a disproportionately high rate of child maltreatment? Did you know that girls who grow up without their fathers can be up to 7 times more likely to end up getting pregnant as teenagers? Why do you have no problem accepting that most people who are qualified for the NBA just happen to be black, but still think it's completely absurd that most people who are qualified to be engineers just happen to be men? I'm slightly overweight. Where do I cash in my oppression points? Why do you complain about players being able to kill fictional women in video games, but not about players also being able to kill men in the very same video games? If every credible study ever conducted on the subject has found that video games do not in fact cause people to become violent, why should we believe that video games cause people to become sexist? Why do you deliberately misconstrue things which clearly are not sexual harassment as sexual harassment? Are you really that desperate to legitimize your movement? Why is it sexist for a man to tell women they should be modest and cover up when feminists get applauded for saying the exact same thing? Why should anybody care if you're offended? Why do you think your feelings are so important, or that you're entitled to sympathy? How do you feel about Reynolds rap? This has been another 50 Questions for Feminists. If you have any of your own questions for feminists, post them in the comments below. Also be sure to like this video, subscribe, make sure the bell is checked so you get notifications when I upload, and support this channel on Patreon. I only take payments for videos which require time, energy, and research to make, so don't worry, you won't be paying for me to make videos about yelling at wildlife in my yard.